Dreamworld, Australia. Afternoon on the Gold Coast. Family ride. Round rafts drifting over a shallow current. It looks harmless. Foam bumpers, gentle chatter, cameras rolling. Then the water drops. A pump fault. The current slows to a crawl. One raft stalls at the top of the conveyor return. Exactly where the ride should never stop. Another raft keeps coming. There's no drama music in real life. Just the slap of water and a thud you feel in your chest. Raft into raft. The stalled boat climbs the moving belt, teeters and flips. Two children are tossed onto the platform. Four adults are not. They're pulled into the machinery. Steel, rollers, and water that surges the wrong way. Operators hit stops. Guests scream for help. Paramedics sprint through a theme park built on speed and spectacle. But this is physics, not theater. A conveyor won't bargain. A low water trough won't forgive. Inside the ride envelope, there are places a human body cannot survive. Pinch points measured in inches. That's where they are now. Cause of death clearly. Traumatic crush injuries combined with drowning. The flip forces bodies into a narrowing gap. The belt applies relentless pressure. Water floods faces. Breathing stops, circulation collapses. It is fast, mechanical, and absolute. Aftermath, sirens, blue tarps, a crowd in shock. Investigators follow the breadcrumbs. Alarms acknowledged but normalized. Training that didn't imagine this sequence. No automatic system to block the belt when water levels dropped. Risk assessments that miss the exact trap the victims fell into. The coroner calls it systemic failure. The park shutters the ride, pays record penalties, and faces a public reckoning. 4 lives gone on a family river. Not from speed, not from height, from inches. Haunted Castle, New Jersey. New Jersey. Friday night, May 11th. A line of teenagers trades daylight for darkness, stepping into a traveling carnival that doesn't move. Trailers linked into a maze, plywood walls, foam padding, jump scares in every corner. Inside, it's pitch black. You feel your way by touch. Hands skim walls. Laughter bounces. Someone flicks a lighter to see. Fire finds fuel. Foam and wood catch, then climb. Smoke blooms first. Thick, black, oily, filling the ceiling, then dropping fast. The maze turns on them. Dead ends, trick doors, corners that loop back. Visibility is gone in seconds. Employees grab handheld extinguishers. They barely dent it. There are no sprinklers, no smoke detectors, no automatic alarm. The corridors channel heat like a chimney. Guests near the entrance spill out coughing, eyes streaming. Deeper inside, the temperature spikes. Plastics decompose into poison, carbon monoxide, hydrogen cyanide, and the air itself becomes an enemy. Cause of death clearly. Smoke inhalation and thermal injuries. The victims breathe superheated, toxic gases that strip oxygen from the blood and overwhelm the heart and brain. Disorientation keeps them in the path of the fire's advance. Burns follow, but it's the smoke. Hot, dense, suffocating, that kills first. Sirens arrive fast, but the structure is already an inferno. Firefighters breach sheet metal and trailer walls, carving openings where exits failed. When the flames drop, the count is 8 teenagers who never found a way out. Aftermath. Investigators map the maze and the decisions behind it. A permanent attraction permitted like a temporary one. Flammable interiors, confusing egress, no detection, no suppression. Criminal charges don't stick, but the codes change. Dark rides get alarms, sprinklers, illuminated exits, trained spotters, and inspections that assume the lights will go out and panic will do the rest. 8 lives, lost in minutes, not to monsters, but to a building that burned exactly the way it was built. Waterslide, Kansas. Kansas, midsummer. A record breaker rises over the park, taller than Niagara, 3-person rafts, a steep drop, then a camel hump meant to float you and set you down. August 7th. A raft dispatches, a child in the front, 2 adults behind, Velcro belts, nylon straps, no over-the-shoulder bars. The conveyor hums, the platform falls away. They hit the first drop at highway speed. Air meets angle. The raft goes light, too light. It lifts over the second hill and leaves the water. There's netting overhead hung from metal hoops to keep riders in. At ground level, netting looks protective. At speed, it's a hard boundary. Impact. On the platform below, staff slam stop buttons. Lifeguards run uphill. Guests step back, stunned and silent. Paramedics arrive fast, but physics is already decided. Cause of death clearly catastrophic blunt force neck trauma from a high-speed impact with overhead netting and support bars when the raft went airborne. The adults in back suffer severe injuries from the same violent forces. No flames, no drowning. Pure kinetics, mass, velocity, and an uncompromising structure. Aftermath. The slide closes immediately. Investigators map the path of the raft and the decisions behind it. Weight ranges that let speeds drift high, testing that didn't mirror worst-case loads, design done without the rigor of established engineering standards. Records chased, margins thinned, lawsuits follow, indictments come and go. The slide is torn down, the lesson stays up. If you build to the edge of human tolerance, you can't guess. You model, you measure, and you leave room for the day the raft decides to fly. Edmonton Mall, Canada. Saturday night, June 14th. A triple loop icon hums inside the world's biggest mall. Neon. Music. A train climbs, dives, threads the steel. It's all precision until it isn't. Mid-course, the last car starts to fishtail. A wheel assembly is no longer where it should be. Hardware that holds steel to steel has failed. The car yaws across the rails. Metal scrapes. The train charges toward the final loop with one car wounded and everyone else along for the ride. Inside that car, 4 riders, lap bars only. The structure flexes, parts deform, restraints unlatch. Bodies are thrown from height to concrete while the rest of the train limps into the loop, stalls, and rolls backward. The crippled car slams a support, and the whole thing stops in an instant that feels like an eternity. Cause of death clearly. Multiple blunt force traumatic injuries from ejection and high-energy impact with catastrophic internal damage incompatible with life. The physics is simple and merciless. Mass times velocity, plus a sudden stop against an unforgiving floor. No smoke, no fire, just kinetics, and a restraint that couldn't keep a body inside a failing machine. Aftermath floods the hall with sirens and blue jackets. Dozens treated, 3 riders do not go home. The investigation follows the missing pieces. Cap screws and fasteners that worked loose, design flaws that allowed a cascading failure, maintenance practices that didn't catch it in time. The ride is rebuilt. Fewer cars per train, added wheel assemblies, seat belts and headrests, anti-rollback and anti-derail hardware. Because the only way to beat momentum is to engineer for when it fights back. A mall, a loop, inches of steel between thrill and tragedy. The lesson holds. Every moving part matters, and every fastener is a promise you'd better keep. Disneyland, California. Anaheim, summer night, a brand new show spins to life. Animatronic Americana inside a giant rotating theater. Guests settle into wedge-shaped sections. Music swells. Everything moves like clockwork. Backstage, an 18-year-old hostess works the load platform. She smiles, waves, keeps the timing. Between scenes, the audience ring slides to align with the next stage. Walls move, floors stay put. It's theater as machinery. There's a gap where the moving wall meets a fixed edge, just inches. A place built for scenery, not people. During a transition, she steps to the wrong side of safe. The wall glides. The clearance disappears. In one quiet, merciless motion, she's pinned. Guests hear something they can't place. A shout, a thud, then the show keeps singing. Operators hit the stop. Lights up. Medics rush into a building that's still humming with momentum. But momentum already did its work. Cause of death clearly. Crushing injuries with compressive asphyxia. The moving wall traps the torso against the stationary edge, forcing the chest inward. Lungs can't expand. Blood can't circulate effectively. Oxygen falls, brain and heart follow. It's mechanical, not theatrical. Unforgiving and fast. Aftermath moves just as quickly. The show reopens with changes. Pressure-sensitive strips and breakaway panels added to the hazard zone. Mirrors and sightlines adjusted so operators can see the pinch point. Training rewritten, where to stand, where not to, how to halt rotation before feet cross a painted line. Warning lights, interlocks, procedures that assume one human misstep will happen, and design must catch it. No speed, no height, no coaster. A rotating room took a life because inches mattered more than spectacle. If you enjoyed this animation, please subscribe for more and support my small channel. Share your ideas for the next video in the comments.